Hello and welcome to Rebels Radio Latest Interview. I'm joined by a very jubilant and happy Neil Baker. How are you, Neil?
Very well, John. Very well.
Third win in a row.
Yep, it's been a very good week for us. 9 points is massive. I think we only done that once last season, similar time actually, and we needed to follow on the last two wins, and it just shoots us right up the table, and it just gives confidence throughout the side. So it's a big 3 points today. And
it's first time in a while that you haven't had been able to name an unchanged starting 11. How good was that for you?
Yeah, no, it's, we've talked about consistency throughout the season, and it's very nice to have been able to pick your same 11 and go with that. It's one of those things where if you have to keep making changes, it affects things, and to play like we did on Tuesday, as long as we didn't pick up any injuries, the side wasn't going to change. It was simple as that.
And started quite brightly, creating chances right from the off. Must have been happy after about 15-20 minutes. Just disappointed couldn't convert one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought we had the lion's share of the game today. We dominated in big periods of the game. We created a number of chances. I hate to think how many corners we had in the game, especially first half. We had bundles of corners. But to be fair to them, they defended well. They were a lot stronger than when we played them earlier on in the season, and they had a bit more character about them. So it was disappointing that we hadn't sort of taken advantage of the play and whatever else. But we went in 1-0 up at half time, and so you got to be pleased with that.
There was a couple of key incidents in that first half. Did you think you should have conceded a penalty with Dan Hicks?
Yeah, I think so. Put it this way: if the boot was on the other foot, I'd have been appealing for a penalty. It's one of those ones where the ball zipped off the surface, and it's come off probably quicker than Dan was expecting, and he's gone to push his shoulder down, and I would say it was probably the top of his arm. It's one of those things, normally a ref would give it, so I was surprised that he didn't give it. So they would feel aggrieved by that, and that could have put them 1-0 up after us dominating the game, and that's how football works. You have to take your chances, and it's a funny old game, as they say.
Yeah, and Putz stepped up. Another free kick, 2 in 2 games.
Yeah.
Better than the other day, or just different, kicked up off the surface a little bit.
Yeah, it kicked up off the surface. It was quite amusing because I'd originally told him it was probably too far out to take, so he'd sort of almost come off it, and I think Declan said to him, "No, go and have a go," and I was on the bench going, "No, it's too far out." And he's obviously popped up in the bottom corner, and hence why they were all coming over. And I went to walk down the dugout at that point.
And then, how much did you think there was a great chance, great bit of football just before half time? Struts smacked a great cross straight against the bar. Did you think that could have been a turning point if you'd have got that?
Oh, I think if we'd gone in 2-0 up, I think we'd have had a much more comfortable second half. It was a great bit of play. I think the ball was played in by Declan. Warren's crossed it, and it's a great finish, and unfortunately it's just hit the crossbar and come down the wrong side of the line. That would have been the icing on the cake to come in at 2-0 up at half time. So, but it wasn't to be.
And what was the message in at half time? Do more of the same?
Well, funny enough, we actually said we needed to get the ball down and play a little bit more. We got in a couple of times off a long ball in the first sort of 10-15 minutes. Charlie got in a couple of times, and I think we went a little bit direct at times, and it was only that last 15 minutes of the first half that we actually started to pass the ball a bit better, and we were creating chances. So we asked them just to go out and try and play a bit more second half.
And Histon obviously had a bit of a probably telling off at half time, just kind of came into the game a lot more. It was a bit more of an even second half. Was it them playing better? Was it you taking your foot off? What do you attribute it to?
Listen, they've got character about them. They're not a bad side. They've beaten Hitchin 5-1 at home. They've beaten Chesham 3-1 at home. They're two sides that are very, very strong at this level. So it's one of those things. They defended well today, and they worked hard. And
they nearly caught you out along the break a couple of times. They had another penalty shout in the second half.
Yeah, I as I said, we talked to their bench. They knew it wasn't a penalty. The second one, the first one, I would say it was a definite penalty. The second one, Sean's put in a great tackle, and they know that, but they're appealing like we would. Sometimes if you put enough pressure on the referee, they might give it. To be fair, the linesman was in a great position and saw that he'd short Sean had actually got a tackle in, and it was a great tackle from Sean, and fair play to the referee because he looked to the linesman to make the decision, and the linesman was adamant that it wasn't a penalty.
It was quite an open second half game.
Yep.
When you then got that second, a great header from Charlie, did you think the game was won?
Probably, yeah, probably. I mean, it's a great header from Charlie. You know, he's scoring a few goals at the moment. That's brilliant for him. He's so honest. His work rate's fantastic, and absolutely delighted for him. Obviously, they then go and score. And
was it a sloppy goal?
I don't know. I mean, I think we could have got out to their man who had a strike earlier. I think it might have taken a little deflection and it's sort of come off Scotty's hand and it's just sort of fallen for the lad to put it in the back of the net. So, yeah, you know, we probably should have got out to the ball quicker. But you know, funny enough, we said we were probably in a better position at 1-0 than at 2-1 because all of a sudden they had the impetus and we had to, you know, survive a couple of scary moments, a couple of balls into the box. But Searsy put in a fantastic block and, you know, we defended well. So, yeah, pleased with that.
Were you ever concerned that you were going to drop a couple of points?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, as I said, they're not a bad side at all. So it was always going to be one of those that they were going to put the ball in the box and you know, that can always create problems, and it did on a few times, and you know, but as I say, we stood up well, we defended well, and we come away with a great 3 points.
So 3 wins on the bounce now, and the double over Histon. Now you move on to the League Cup. What priority does that have for you?
I'll be brutally honest. It's you know, it's not high on our priority list. You know, obviously every game we want to try and win, but you know, we've got to look at resting, you know, a few of those lads because there's a few that are carrying knocks. You've got Putz with a back injury, Guy's got a problem with his knee, Hicksy a little bit with his back. You know, so there's a few in there that we might need to change. So we might have to bring, you know, 1 or 2 in, somebody like a Wes, Stuart Lake. Probably come in. We're hopeful to have Rummy. We're just waiting for his international clearance. We're hoping we'll get that. And yeah, you never know. There might be one other, you know, coming in. We'll just wait and see.
Excellent. Thank you ever so much for your time straight after the game. Congratulations on your 3rd win, and look forward to catching up on Tuesday.
Lovely. Cheers, John.
Thanks.